Okay, if you have ever been in the middle of a supermarket with a screaming toddler, you know that feeling. That feeling of just complete helplessness. Well, today we're going to break down the toddler tantrum. We're going to look at why they happen, and more importantly, give you some really practical, expert-backed strategies to navigate these storms and bring back the calm.
So let's start by trying to get inside a toddler's head for a second. Just think about this quote. You'd be pretty annoyed, right? Well, that's pretty much what a toddler feels when we just suddenly end their playtime. The big difference? They literally don't have the emotional tools to handle that huge feeling. And, just understanding that, that's the first step to changing everything.
So here's our game plan for this explainer. We'll start by really getting the why behind tantrums. Then we'll look at your role, the calm anchor. After that, we'll get into some awesome proactive ways to prevent meltdowns, what to do when they happen anyway, and then we'll wrap it all up with the big takeaways.
All right, part one. Let's just start by tearing down a huge misconception. What if I told you that a tantrum isn't your kid trying to defy you, but it's actually a cry for help? Let's dig into what's really going on in that little brain. This right here. Every parent needs to hear this. Tantrums are not your fault, and they definitely don't mean you have a bad kid. This is a totally normal, totally expected part of them growing up. Think of it like a short circuit, The emotions are gigantic, but their vocabulary to explain those emotions, it's just not there yet. And look at these triggers: frustration, hunger, being tired. Sound familiar? Yeah, these are the exact same things that put us adults on edge. The only real difference is that we've learned, most of the time, how to manage our reactions. Our toddlers are just at the very beginning of learning how to do that.
Which brings us to probably the most powerful tool you have in your entire parenting toolkit, your own reaction. Let's dive into why you are the calm anchor in the middle of their emotional storm.
Seriously, this is the foundation for everything. Your calm is contagious. It really is. When you can model being in control right in the middle of their chaos, you're not just getting through the moment, you're actually teaching them, showing them how to handle their own big feelings. It's one of the hardest things to do for sure, but man, it's one of the most important.
And this chart just lays it out perfectly. In that moment, we have a choice. On one side, we can fuel the fire, yelling, arguing, making it all a bigger drama. Or we can be the calm anchor. Some experts even suggest using like an emotionless robot voice just to suck all the energy out of the situation that the tantrum is feeding on. You become predictable, steady, and frankly, kind of boring to the tantrum.
Okay, now for the really powerful part. How to stop a lot of these tantrums before they even get started. Because being proactive is so much easier than being reactive. So our first tool is all about timing. A natural break is just a natural stopping point. Think about it. It's way easier to leave the park after you finish going down the slide, not when you're halfway up the ladder, right? When you work with their activity instead of just against it, transitions become so much smoother for everybody.
And here are 3 really simple ways to actually do this. Using a timer? Well, that makes the clock the bad guy, not you. A countdown gets rid of that surprise factor. And redirecting? That's about seeing the storm clouds gathering and just, steering the ship towards some sunshine before the rain starts. Each of these gives your kid a sense of control and predictability.
Man, this next strategy, it's a total game changer. So often, kids act out just to get a reaction from us. Any reaction. The Instagram moment completely flips that around. The goal is to flood them with positive attention when they're just playing quietly. So instead of ignoring the piece, you jump in and say, "Wow, I love how you're stacking those blue blocks so carefully. That's so cool." You're feeding that need for attention, but for the good stuff. So what's the magic number? 20. Try to hit about 20 of these a day. Now I know, that sounds like a lot, but each one takes, 5 or 10 seconds? That's it. We're talking a couple of minutes of focused, positive attention sprinkled through the day. It can completely change the dynamic in your house. But hey, let's be real, prevention isn't foolproof. So what do you do when a tantrum is already happening full force? Let's look at 2 really clear, consistent strategies you can use. Yep, it's gonna happen. And that is 100% okay. The key isn't to never have tantrums again. The key is to have a consistent plan for when they do. So here's one method. The idea is to remove the audience and all that emotional energy. You use that calm, robotic voice, guide them to a safe space. But here's the crucial part. The reward for them calming down isn't a toy, it's not a treat. It's getting to connect with you again. Okay, now here's another approach. This one is all about connecting with the emotion while still holding the line. So you get down on their level, eye to eye. You say something like,
I see you are so sad that we have to leave the playground. You're not giving in, not at all, but you are validating their feeling, and that helps them feel seen and understood.
Okay, let's bring it all home. Let's talk about the most important things to remember, because this whole thing, it's about progress, not about being perfect.
So if you forget everything else, just remember this 4-point toolkit. Number 1, you are the calm anchor. Your calm is your superpower. 2, prevent, prevent, prevent. Use those natural breaks and Instagram moments. 3, when a meltdown hits, pick a strategy and be consistent. Consistency is everything. And finally, just hold on to this. It is a phase. A totally normal phase that, I promise, will pass.
So the real question is, what's your first step? You don't have to do everything all at once. Maybe it's just trying a simple countdown at the park tomorrow, or maybe it's catching one extra Instagram moment tonight. Just pick one small thing. You've got this. Thanks for watching.